to us?
Noah Elrod. I work at the library. This is written on September 22nd, 1959. On New Year's Day in 1942, there was no Faulkner Van Buren Regional Library, nor was there any Miss Dula H. Reed tearing around in pursuit of some talkative soul who had been brash enough to mention casually a book or a bench or a bush or just anything that might be useful for the library. There was a Faulkner County Library with around 9,000 volumes, an unbelievably fast circulation rate. There was a perennial wail for money. There was a wonderful community desire for a better library. The minutes of that time are full of CCC camps, WPA branch workers, drives for books for men in service. Then, on February 1st, came Miss Reed. As a homegrown librarian, she knew the townsfolks and those who lived down most of the country lanes as well. She continued the urgent search for funds for the support of the library. She learned how to smile in a financial manner for the thrifty quorum court. She reminded friends of the library members that dollars were her job's best friend. She remembered that the library had come into existence by the cooperation of almost every community in town. She found books for Little Susie, for the Rockhound, for the Ballad Singer, for the Garden Clubbers, for the old lady whose days were lonely. She took on the county to the north, Van Buren, when we became a regional library. She learned to drive over the hills and far away to the outlying schools and branches, hoping she would bring herself back alive. So far, she has. Miss Dula Reed was our longest running director. Thank you.
Thank you, Noah. All right, Joseph Hilton. We got the microphone right over here in the corner. If you don't mind introducing yourself to us, and we'll start your time. Thank you.
All right. Hi, I'm Joseph Hilton. I'm getting that there's a lot more to this than what I thought whenever I came in here. The only thing I was aware of was it was a budget meeting, and the library was up for it. So I want to just speak a little bit about that. The library is extremely important to me personally. I'm not from here. I came from a small town, like a lot of people probably did. Very, very poor. We did not have books. We did not have a computer. Nothing. Everything I learned, everything I interacted with, I was able to do homework, projects, all came from the library. It was a tiny library. It was probably half the size of this room. I read every single book in there. We did not have a computer until I was like a junior in high school. I would not have been able to get where I am today without funding to libraries. I'm a senior software engineer for a billion-dollar company. I run an entire team of people. I would probably still be in that same small town if we did not fund libraries. I'm not really sure what the event is that has everybody riled up. It could not have been bad enough to warrant any sort of like people not getting paid what they need to for the library or not allocating adequate funds. I can't imagine a scenario where the library shouldn't get funding. It's up there for me in like top 5 services a city can provide. Like, I need clean water. Like, I gotta have that. I'd value the library over waste services. I'd find another way to get rid of that. That's really all I have to say on it. I'm a little curious what's going on, but I feel like this isn't
Thank you, Joseph. Thank you. All right, Caleb. Please introduce yourself, and the microphone's right there on the corner. Yes, thank you.
Am I good to tilt it up, or does it just it picks up? So
yeah, you're good.
My name is Caleb Johnson.
Live here in Conway. The reason why I'm out here today, like so many other people, is to be here in support of the library, to make sure that they get all the funding they need. That's for workers, that's for discretionary funds, that's for anything that they need. And I mean, in this case, I've seen what the library provides. As somebody who hasn't been to a library except for in this past year, and being able to see the financial services, the courses, the classes, the community that they bring, this library is fantastic for that. And as somebody who has been a part of events, seeing the people that come from other communities, out from Russellville, out from Bald Knob, out from Heber, they come because of what the library provides. So that's why I'm here today, is to express my support, to give them what they need.
Thank you, Caleb. Thank you. Let's see. We've got Buddy Tullis. Buddy, if you don't mind telling us who you are.
Yes, my name is Buddy Tolis. Just moved to Conway here in the last year. Moved to Arkansas from Idaho, Montana area a few years ago for law school. I'd like to kind of just reiterate support for everything people have said already today, but I'd also like to give you all another viewpoint. It's my understanding that each one of you, when you got voted in, had to take the oath of office. Jason Rapper, the guy that made it abundantly clear that this is about LGBT rights and the library supporting that, also had to take that oath of office. Part of that oath is supporting the Constitution of the United States of America. And I'm not sure how much y'all have paid attention to Supreme Court cases when it comes to LGBT rights and all that. But one thing that the court has held over and over and over again is that viewpoint discrimination is completely unacceptable and unexcusable. That,
I'll let you finish making your point there.
yeah. So I'll just go Rosenberg. Court held that a student religious journal at the University of Virginia was entitled to the same subsidy from student activity funds received by secular student journals. The court quotes that viewpoint discrimination discriminates on the basis of viewpoints to permit school property to be used for the presentation of all views about family issues and child rearing, except those dealing with the subject matter from a religious standpoint. They found that unacceptable because a religion was discriminated against. Rosenberg, when the government targets not subject matter but particular views taken by speakers on a subject, the violation of the First Amendment is all the more blatant. Viewpoint discrimination is thus an egregious form of content discrimination. The government must abstain from regulating speech when the specific motivating ideology or the opinion or perspective of the speaker is the rationale for the restriction. In closing, I know people like Jason aren't going to listen to the LGBT argument, but maybe he'll listen to the monetary argument. If you cut funding to the library just on the basis that they support the entire community and not just portions of the community, that is viewpoint discrimination. And the lawsuits that the county will face and the money lost is going to far exceed anything the county would ever spend given to the library and helping out their community.
Thank you, buddy.
Yep.
All right, I've got Brooklyn Mason.
Hello. As JP Coates said, you have all received my email and read it, so I'm only going to read a very specific piece of it. My name's Brooklyn. I'm actually on the board of directors for Conway Pride Community. So I'm going to read a small piece of the email that all of you have got the pleasure of reading already. The library did not pay to be at Pride. Their fees were waived with full support of the board of directors of Conway Pride Community. Every time that the library shows kindness to queer Conwegians, we end up right here. And every time the community shows up in solidarity with the library in waves. We love our town and we love our library. Why do we need to keep repeating this cycle again and again? Defunding the library defunds the community garden. It defunds teen programming. It defunds internet access for kids who don't have it at home but need the internet to do school projects. It actively impedes literary access for young people. And what defunding the library does not do is make the queer community any less queer or make us disappear or keep us out of your parks, your schools, your streets, or your public institutions and municipalities. All of those spaces also belong to us. We also pay taxes. We invest in businesses. We own businesses. We have just as much rights to see ourselves in the spaces we pay for as much as anyone else does. As a library is for all Conwegians, that includes us, and including us does not exclude anyone else. Thank you.
Thank you, Brooklyn. All right, and we've got one more here. I didn't get the name. I just wrote down the last one that didn't get to sign the sign-in sheet. So I think you probably know who you are.
I know him when I see him. There he is.
There he is. All right, there's a microphone right here on the corner, and if you don't mind introducing yourself to us, and then we'll give you your minute. Thank you.
Good afternoon or evening. My name is Sky, ladies and gentlemen of the board. This is local government. We have a federal government that is falling apart, and we need to take care of our community. This is base level government, and we need you to treat everyone like human beings. And LGBTQ should not ever be even thought of as a reason to take people's rights away. We're all human beings. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, that concludes our public comment for the night. Once again, thank you all for joining us and participating in the process. Let's see. We're going to move on to new business. Do we have a motion for our proposed ordinance on our kind of regular monthly appropriations?
Make a motion to put proposed ordinance 2531 on the table for discussion.
Second.
All right, we've got a motion and a second. Justices, any questions with this one?
Do we need to read it?
No, not in
Okay.
committee. I mean, you see the big chunks here, the big chunks of money here are kind of what happens at the sheriff's office at the end of the year where they got to move money from full-time salaries into overtime to make up for the vacancies within their full-time positions. Discussion? All in favor of passing proposed ordinance 25-31 on to full court, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. All right, we're going to move on to consideration of our 2026 budgets. We covered a lot of ground last night. Let's see. We moved to Thursday, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There were 6 budgets last night. If you'll remember, I'm just giving you a number that we moved to Thursday because we had questions and no one was here to answer, or they needed to be fixed or adjusted or whatever the situation was there. I'd like to take this opportunity. I see Justice Kendrick and Justice Strain. Are there any other justices in the, Justice Yorgi? All right, I extended this last night. If you have any questions, comments, anything during the meeting, feel free to speak. I don't always have my head up looking. I'm a lot of times looking down, so feel free to just holler out something so I can get y'all's comments or concerns addressed. All right. Justice Coates.
I'd like to make a motion to put Fund 1000.0101 County Clerk on the table for discussion.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Ms. Darter, do you have any comments on your budget?
Well, it's been a while since I submitted it, so I'm not sure. I don't think I've asked for anything new. So it is going to be an election year, so my budget has been increased for the general supplies and probably professional services. Don't forget that that's part of the ADP, and the 3102 is the 35, that's the computer softwares and stuff for the accounts payable, which benefits the whole county. So most of my increases are having to do with new administration costs that are coming in through my office.
Copy that.
ADP.
It's the payroll program that we're trying to implement.
The timekeeping.
Okay, I remember that now. Thank you.
Justice, any questions? Yes, ma'am.
So on the passport admin position, is that an increase or a decrease in the salary appropriation for 26?
There looks like, go ahead, if you know the answer.
So we shifted money around back in May, or back after the first year last year, so that's what that ordinance is showing. But the increase is, I guess, from the 3% that.
COLA.
has-
COLA.
Because the appropriation is showing as less than last year's, but the difference is showing.
Oh, because I shifted money back at the beginning of the year, between two, positions.
Justice Yorgi, I think I see what you're saying. Instead of the number being green, it's
It's red.
red.
It's red, yeah.
Yeah.
It should be green.
Oh, well, I didn't, look at-
Is that right?
I'm just not even sure the maths.
yeah, I don't know, I didn't put in the budget on the.
Yeah.
service.
I think, Margaret, as long as what's in that 2026 appropriation category is correct there, with the 52,312 being the salary for that position. I know you might not even have it in front of you right now, but,
Yeah, I believe that's correct, but.
okay,
I will just have to come back tomorrow night and
that's fine. We can
have my notes with me.
pass it, and if we need to
Yeah.
make a
Correct, but I'd have to double check.
adjustment, we can come back and adjust it, yeah. Justice, any more questions?
I see what she's saying.
All in favor of passing Fund 1000.0101, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right.
I'd like to make a motion to put Fund 3005.0117 county clerk cost on the table for discussion.
Second.
This one's a net positive. Justices, any questions? Or run while we can. Pass it while we can. All in favor of passing Fund 3005.0117, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right.
I'd like to make a motion to put Fund 1000.0109 elections and voter registration on the table for discussion.
All right, Justices, you will see, just like what Ms. Darter said, it's an election year, so we have substantial increases in this budget. About $100,000 of this will be reimbursed for the cost of the election. That's a rough projection on the reimbursement. Ms. Darter, any other comments?
No, we get reimbursed approximately about 100,000 for the primary, and then we're kind of on our own for the general. I will bill out the schools and stuff, but their costs will be kind of minimum, and any other entity that might be on the ballot, and get reimbursements for some of them that's probably not projected into the projections on that, so probably another 25,000 would come in also.
Justices, any questions? All in favor of passing 1000.0109, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right.
I'd like to make a motion to put Fund 3530.0109 Circuit Court Third Division on the table for discussion.
Second.
Which one was that?
That has to be, this was a grant that has to be spent out this year, and so we will not be asking for what we don't spend, we won't be asking because we have to spend it out by the end of the year.
Justices, any questions? All in favor of passing 3530.0109, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right.
I'd like to make a motion to put Fund 1000.0102 Circuit Clerk on the table for discussion.
Second.
Justice, anything here? No changes. This is money that gets paid out to jurors. All in favor of 1000.0102, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
I'd like to make a motion to put Fund 3006.0120 County Recorder's Cost on the table for discussion.
Second.
Good evening, Miss Eastham.
Good evening.
How are you?
I'm doing okay. How
A
are
little
you?
late for you to be out.
I know, it is getting close to bedtime.
Justice, did y'all have any questions?
Yeah, what's the 20,8774? Personal services, what exactly is that? It's the second sheet, first one.
COLA.
Is that COLA? Okay.
Oh, that's the total. I gotcha.
Justice, I think the only thing we're running into on this one is the fact that on our projections sheet that we're over budgeted by about 164,000. It's kind of the same situation we ran into last night. I'm trying to remember what budget it was, where the budget increase, the actual amount of increase in the budget was not that much. For this one, it's only $23,000, and that's, 99% borne in the cost of living adjustment. But on our projections sheet, what we project as far as revenue along with our current fund balance, we're just short about $164,000. I'll take you on a little history lesson. Back in 2022, 2021, I believe, our former circuit clerk, they were in county general. They had we funded some of our circuit clerk costs out of county general because of everything that was going on with the real estate market and with low interest rates and all that stuff. Our county recorder's cost revenue was record high levels that we had seen. So we were able to bear the full brunt of the county recorder's cost in that fund specifically. So I think what we see here is just the real estate market's changed, the revenue's gone down, and we see something there. Mr. Sampson, you're walking up here like you got a comment. You don't? Okay. I just want.
Went and got my revenue number, so.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. All right. So anyways, we might want to table this. We'll talk to Ms. Eastham, figure out a solution, and then move forward on Thursday night, if y'all want to do that. You have a motion?
We'll have to make a motion, we table this until Thursday.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the motion to table? All in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, thank you, Ms. Eastham. We'll figure it out.
I think I have one more.
Okay. Oh, okay.
I'd like to make a motion to Fund 3012.0114 Child Support on the table for discussion.
Second.
0.
0. No changes here. Any discussion? Any questions? All in favor of passing 3012.0114, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, Ms. Eastham.
I'd like to make a motion to put Fund 1805.0103 County Treasurer on the table for discussion.
Second.
All right. Mr. Sampson,
Would you like me to go stand at point there? Is this okay?
no, you're good. You're fine right there.
This is the budget for my, the county general portion. This is all these changes that are on here are made by the quorum court, not by me. These are only what we used to call above the line or personal service changes.
And that is the limit of what this budget consists of,
It
correct?
is, it is.
Yep. Justice, any questions? All in favor of passing 1805.0103, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right.
I'd like to make a motion to put Fund 3000.0119 County Treasurer's Automation on the table for discussion.
Second.
Any questions, justices? Or Mr. Sampson, any comments?
I had no changes in the budget in which I worked on. Looks like fleet liability and insurance, fire and extended coverage changed a little bit. That's the only changes there are, and that was kind of out of our control.
All in favor of passing 3000.0119, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
I'd like to make a motion to put Fund 1805.0104 County Collector on the table for discussion.
Second.
All right, we've got a motion and a second. Collector Coons, do you have anything you want to tell us?
No.
All right, that's fine. That's fine. I just want to give you the opportunity. Yep. Justices, any questions?
You've got 10,000 addition, oh, that goes down, I'm sorry, looking at the wrong thing, for professional services. Just wondered what the difference was in those.
We actually didn't do the state income tax garnishment this year. AAC dropped us, and so we are going to pick that back up next year.
Is there a reason they dropped us?
What? They dropped everybody.
Okay, that sounds good. Yeah, we need to dig into that a little more. I remember the initial conversation when we brought that on and everything.
Yeah, we didn't know initially what kind of funds we were going to need for that. So after the first year, we weren't using as much as what we had budgeted. So I had dropped it and then dropping it again. We are working with our software provider. They're going to do our letters for us. So we are going to get that started back again next year.
Thank you. Questions, Justices? All in favor of passing 1805.0104, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
I'd like to make a motion to put Fund 3001.0118 Collectors Automation on the table for discussion.
Second.
All right, all I see here is our cost of living adjustment increases. Any questions? All in favor of passing 3001.0118, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, Collector.
I'd like to make a motion to put Fund 1805.0105 County Assessor on the table for discussion.
Second.
All right, Assessor Lewis.
I only have those couple of changes from the previous budget finance, and then the only asks that I did this year were from our aerial imagery and other contracts that went up. I split the difference between what I had asked for.
I'm assuming those are service contracts, and then the other
Yes.
professional services are those?
Yes,
Those programs really are
they are.
incredible.
Any other questions? All in favor of passing 1805.0105, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
I'd like to make a motion to put Fund 1805.0106, the Equalization Board, on the table for discussion.
Second.
Any questions, Justices? You can see this is basically the money that our EQ board members receive
Plus minimal supplies. Yep.
with minimal general supplies. Questions? All in favor of passing 1805.0106, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
I'd like to make a motion to put Fund 3004.0112, Assessors Amendment 79, on the table for discussion.
Second.
Any discussion, Justices? No changes whatsoever. Ms. Lewis, do you mind briefing us on Amendment 79?
Oh, Scott, you're better than this. Homestead Amendment 79 is the homestead money. It's state.
Okay.
Amendments,
We
This-
get
this
reimbursed.
comes- Amendment 79 trust funds, where it comes from.
Yeah.
And you'll get me lying on the percentages, but there is a percentage of the Amendment 79 trust fund that goes back to assessors. And this goes directly to that. What, it's Fund 3004, is that right?
Yes.
I get an email every month.
Bear with
from
me as I
Scott.
can't see
Yeah, you're
anymore.
fine.
They carried over 123,196.88, going to revenue 47.5. That's what they revenue roughly every year. I think that's what they asked for.
Yes.
47, close to 47.5,
Yeah.
so. In the past, they've used Amendment 79 funds to fund one-time expenditures. If they have a big expenditure here, a big expenditure there, they've used it for that, but for the most part, it expenses what it generates.
Is this the one that you called me on that we needed to make an adjustment? It's not, okay. Justice, any questions? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I know we've been seeing the COLA increases for all of our salaried employees. And I just wondered, there's part-time salaries on here. How does cost of living increases and base salaries affect any of our part-time workers?
Part-time doesn't get it, right?
I don't know the
Part-time
answer to
doesn't
that.
receive COLA.
Yeah.
It's up to the elected officials, and we generally budget it into the budget, and then we determine from there.
So you can determine whether that part-time person makes $12 an hour versus 18 versus
Right.
52 or whatever. Okay.
What's it automatically added to my Amendment 79?
It wasn't. It's not automatically added to anybody's part-time.
So it wasn't automatically budgeted on the COLA and the ones that's
But-
Not
automatically
on
budgeted?
part-time, it wasn't.
Right.
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
Part-time isn't slotted per position like full-time is.
Correct.
Part-time is in one big lump, so there may be 10 people drawing for that
Right.
part-time,
Yep.
so it doesn't show here.
Yep.
I know.
That answer your question, Justice Yorgie? All right.
That's a good question.
Any other questions on this budget? All in favor of passing 3004.0112, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
I'd like to make a motion to put Fund 3011.0110, reappraisal cost on the table for discussion.
Second.
All right. Yes.
Through fund, all these expenses are paid back either from the state or through final tax settlement.
We get paid $7 a parcel reimbursement from ACD for reappraisal.
Justices, any questions? All in favor of passing 3011.0110, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
The 3042 is the one I was talking about.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'd like to make a motion to put Fund 3042.0105, tax assessor late assessment fees on the table for discussion.
Second.
So this is one of those that usually stays in the front of the book that's not appropriated. We haven't turned it on or appropriated anything from it since 2019 when I first came into office. We had them, what we call turned it on, appropriated money into it and bought a vehicle out of it and then turned it back off, haven't appropriated anything into it since then. So it makes it look like it's all new money when actually there's money in it to appropriate. But there wasn't anything appropriated in it at all in 2025, so Sarah had to recreate this entire thing to make it look like money was asked to be appropriated. So that's the same thing I'm asking her to do again. We have a 2018 model vehicle that we're just asking to appropriate money to put in that fund, trade that vehicle in, and then turn this back off and not appropriate anything into it again and let it build back up. So it's like a one-time purchase thing out of that fund again and then not use it again.
Just as you'll see on your projections sheet, we revenue, or Scott's projecting a revenue of about $6,000 next year. They carried over $65,000 was the money that Chrissy's talking about that has accumulated over the years. So the available to appropriate is $64,000, and she's asking for $50 today. Any questions?
So that's why I lose 14,000.
There's 14,000 left
Yeah, okay.
that you could ask for.
It was different than the red here.
Yep, yep. All in favor of passing 3042.0105, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
The numbers got off. I'd like to make a motion to put Fund 1000.0107 Quorum Court on the table for discussion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Who wants to speak to this one?
I believe that would be a conflict.
That would be a conflict. All right. Justice, any questions? Scott?
Do you want me to speak on it? Is that what you're asking?
No, you just look like you had something to say.
No.
Okay.
I think you need money. How about that?
It's all fine. I'm gonna pull up just a statement of operations real quick, so we can see where our spending is in this budget. So as of October 29th, we have used 62% of our allotted budget here. That number's the same in the salaries as well. When you look at below the line, we're about 78% spent.
Tyler, would you look at your 3094 and see if that's enough money to cover your 3094 line item? From the statement of operations you have there in front of you?
What's let's see.
'Cause I don't know if y'all caught it, but I have moved some money on your ordinance, so that's why I'm bringing that to your attention. You might want.
It says the balance is $457
For that line item?
for that line item. Yes. 42% spent.
Okay.
I'm trying to read this. There is a training and education line item and a computer software line item
Yeah, that's
that
what
we're overspent.
paying for these tablets. from.
Okay. Do you anticipate us needing to add anything to that line item in the future?
I don't think so for 2026.
Okay. I think we're fine, Margaret, right now.
Okay, I forgot to look at that ahead of time.
Yeah, that's fine. Justices, any questions? And I'll just point out exactly what she's talking about, which is under miscellaneous meals and lodging. That's like Justice Kendrick is our appointee to the Association of Arkansas Counties, so he'll go to those meetings that they have, conferences. I've been to one of their conferences before. Any of that kind of stuff that goes on. It just allows us to go to these meetings and participate and learn more about our job and our role and what we do. Any other questions? Good? Just Jorgie? All right. All in favor of passing 1000.0107, say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
I'd like to make a motion to put Fund 3008.0600, the county library, on the table for discussion.
Second.
All right. Mr. McGraw, thank you.
I don't know about you guys, but I've been getting a lot of emails the last 3 days about library spending on millage funds, and so if I could have 2 minutes of your time. In 2024, the library saw 318,000 visits. If that wasn't enough, the library also had 75 outreach events that saw an additional 4,600 people. This year, we've already are closing in on 75 events, and we've already seen over 4,000 people, largely in part because of the state fair. The public library exists to open access to ideas and communities through shared collections, shared spaces, and shared activities. Often that is in the context of our overcrowded buildings, but a couple times every week we share that space with whoever we've been invited to go to speak about what the library has to offer. The goal of library outreach is to provide library resources, services, and collections to new and existing patrons, particularly those who may be experiencing barriers to access. Barriers are often just basic awareness of our services, but digital literacy, transportation issues, health issues, and economic hardship are also often common issues we address. Through outreach events, the public library actively promotes literacy, lifelong learning, and digital lending while fostering meaningful community engagement. Besides increasing the community-wide visibility of the Faulkner County Library, an outreach event may provide a fun interactive experience like at PBS Day. But often as not, it just stresses the promotion of literacy and lifelong learning to people of all ages and abilities, as well as introducing non-users to library collections, library spaces, and library activities. We saw many of you at the county fair, and our activities in September were exactly what they were Saturday, providing information and addressing barriers to library use. Friday night, we were able to send staff to the downtown Conway Art Walk, as well as the Cummins Elementary Family Literacy Night. The activities Friday night were what I've already described with the other activities. What we do not do is advocacy, aside from advocating for the public use of the public library with the goal of strengthening our community and empowering our citizens. We go where we are invited, provided our understaffed library can find people willing to give up their Friday nights or their Saturday nights. I myself was supposed to be speaking at the Philanthropic Education Organization meeting tonight, but this meeting got rescheduled, and so I had a conflict. I would have told them exactly what I told the Arkansas Community Foundation, the Rotary Club, the Newcomers Club. We are the public library, and we have more to offer you than you know. This is not about advocacy, but just simple access. We are constantly telling people about the library because misunderstandings of what we do and do not persist. Aside from paying my staff for their time, no tax dollars were spent on Saturday, or at any of the other events on Friday night, or at a philanthropic education organizational meeting. Some of you may have been through this cycle a time or two with Facebook drama blowing up your phones over something that has had all of its context stripped away to make a point. If we've not been sufficiently transparent about what outreach is and is not, I do apologize for that. On Monday, I'm asking the library board to ratify an outreach policy that describes what we have been doing all along and makes it clear that we do not do advocacy of the sort that has been attributed to us. Additionally, we will be creating a request system for outreach events that will increase transparency for this process. My hope is that this will make it clear that the library does not advocate or endorse the content or viewpoints of presenters or programs or partners through outreach. The public library does not endorse any specific viewpoints or causes at community events. The library is for everyone, and 318,000 visits still leaves a lot of people out.
All right. Justices, any questions? Thank you. Thank you, John. Justice, any questions?
Chair.
Yes, Mr. Meeks.
How often do you have to pay for, to go to events? Like you said Saturday, you were able to get it waived, that's wonderful. But how often do you actually have to pay to be a part, or do you not go if you have to pay?
It's extremely rare. The fair, I think we were charged to go to the fair, but even when we do have a charge like to go to the fair, we do not use the millage money to do that. We have a discretionary fund from fines donations that covers all of these costs. None of this is taxpayer dollars.
Thank you.
Can I ask a question?
No, ma'am. Sorry. Let's see.
I do have
Yep,
one
your-
request.
your
Mr.
mic was
McGraw,
green.
the things that you spoke about in the first part of, when you started with all the numbers, would you mind emailing those to me?
I can give you a copy right now.
Okay, perfect.
Can I get a copy too?
Thank you.
Mr. McGraw, I know we spoke about this, and I'm trying to think. Let's see. I've been.
Sir?
Oh, thank you. I've been the chairman of our Budget and Finance Committee since 2023. I know we spoke about it probably in the 23 budget. I'm assuming in the 24 budget and the 25.
Yep.
The biggest problem I'm seeing here is we talk about revenue, projected revenue, carryover, all that kind of stuff. So what I'm seeing here in front of me is basically we're over budgeted right now by $370,000.
Yes. I do have two very large budget lines that are budgeted from carryover.
Okay.
Buildings and improvements and construction in progress. I've really not touched either of those in the last 10 years. Every year I do this hoping that we can build something out in Mount Vernon, or if we have a roof blow off or something like that, we'll have money ready to go in case we have a catastrophic problem at a library. We've never had to spend any of that money, but I do like to stick it in the budget just in case of a rainy day.
Do you have a proposal today on how you want us to get your budget in line with the numbers that we need it to be, or do you want to come back on Thursday?
The easiest thing to do would be to cut from construction in progress and from buildings and improvements 3018.
Okay.
So take out 3018.
You could zero out 3018 and you could zero out 4006, and that's combined, that's, trying to do the math here, $468,000. So put the library in the green, and then if they do need the money, they can come ask for it next year. But I understand we had some crazy bids on the Mount Vernon Library, is that right?
Yes, very crazy.
Yes.
Very crazy indeed.
And justices, if you see in your personal services section there, you'll see ordinance 25-16. I don't remember at what point in the year we passed that. I think it was earlier in the year.
6 months ago.
6 months ago, there you go, where we salaried, we added the guy librarian, looks like a marketing manager, and I thought I saw something else, maybe not. Yep, those two.
I do have a question. If we're going to take out 4006 construction in progress, what's in progress that we can take out and stop?
Oh, that would be Mount Vernon.
Okay, so
No,
that,
the Mount
we
Vernon
haven't
Library-
started anything there.
No.
So it's not technically in progress, but.
No.
Okay. Just making sure.
If possible, I would love any remainder to go back into 3018, just in case we have a catastrophe. Of the two lines, that is the more used. We've had just this year, we've had a lot of terrible 30-year-old building problems with the HVAC system, as well as having both the east side fence and the west side fence fall down. So that's been fun.
May I ask where all you advertise that costs money?
Oh, largely the Log Cabin Democrat and the Arkansas Democrat Gazette. We have also looked at the cost of radio ads, but have not made any buys in radio yet.
Could that be a line item that could be reduced?
I would certainly support not increasing it, but we do get still a lot of people reading the newspaper and responding to events through that.
Just curious. Your social media following seems to be great.
Yes, ma'am.
Which is free.
It is next level.
Mr. Chair.
Yes.
I wasn't the greatest math person in high school, but just running numbers, it looks like the 468 that you're wanting to take out, and then the 370, 305 that you were over budget, it looks like that would actually leave us with 97,695 that we could potentially leave in building and improvements. Do you know approximately how much this past year you spent in building improvements?
I do. This is at the end of September or October. I guess it's the end of October. This is. We've spent $18,000 on it this year, and that's pretty much fencing costs. And we got one more fence to pay for, so it'll be a little bit more than 18.
So I guess if we relieve 80,000, let's say, in building improvements, you think that would cover?
Yes, sir.
What you need for the year? Okay, thank you.
Just as we need a motion to amend this budget.
I just have a question.
Okay, go ahead. We're still in discussion. That's fine, we're still in discussion.
This is an in-depth budget, and so if we're going to amend it, can we amend it tonight and then vote on it Thursday night so we can see all the changes written out, or do we need to amend it and tonight? Does that make sense?
That's fine. We can just table it till tomorrow night and we can make the corrections in the budget Oh, yeah, sorry, Thursday night, and make the corrections in the budget, and then vote on it then with the corrections that Mr. McGraw makes in the budget? Does that make sense?
Why don't you make a motion on what you want to change, and then we can make those changes and then table the final vote on passage to full court on Thursday.
Not full court, but committee.
Committee, Thursday night budget.
On Thursday night, your vote would be to full court.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, I must misunderstood what you said. Does that make sense, Justice
You just need a
Coates?
motion to reduce 4,008, or excuse me, 4,006 from 218 to 0, and then from 318 from 250 to whatever Justice Meeks.
80,000.
Yeah, 80,000.
80,000.
Changing that to 80,000, and then what would that leave in that fund?
170? 170 and 318.
I would really like to see it written out, if that's okay.
Y'all know this, but just as a reminder, just because 3,018 is zeroed out, doesn't mean that Mr. McGraw couldn't, if something catastrophic were to happen, use something from any of those 3,000 categories.
To
So
move it.
even by zeroing out the budget, if something happens, he could use the budgeting from his utilities to pay for that emergency and then come back to the quorum court if needed. We understand Mr. McGraw's position. It's nice to have that line item, but it's really that category that we're worried about.
So I guess as a follow-up question to that, it's good. You know, I'm worried, yeah, if they get a leak in the roof or something that they need to do right away to have that funds available so that they're not waiting and something getting worse because they're not able to actually fix it in a timely manner.
Yeah, I think the bigger item to look at is that total sub number, which would be $6,006, essentially, is what he has in the 3,000, or what the library has in that 3,000 category. So that kind of gives you an idea of the total flexibility that Mr. McGraw might have if something were to happen.
Thank you.
And could I ask y'all to make a motion to zero out the 1,008, the $100 for the non-contributory retirement? I'd like to shut that off. It's totally unnecessary and it's never been used. And I need to close out that line item, and I can't do it till there's no money in there.
What number?
1,008.
We just need a motion.
Make a motion that we remove line item 1008, non-contributory retirement, out of budget 3008.0600.
Second.
Any discussion on the motion to amend line item 1008? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right.
There's $100, John, you weren't expecting.
So we need to go through each amendment.
Or you can put them together.
Yeah, let's batch.
You can just say zero out 3,018 and 4,006 if you want.
I'd like to make a motion for an amendment to zero out line item 3018 and 4006.
Second.
All right, any discussion on the motion? This is construction in progress line item and building and improvements line item.
Who made that second?
John.
Thank you.
All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. And Justice Coates, from what I hear, you're saying you're comfortable, you want to see the changes made on paper here in the budget so you can review it?
Yes, please. So I'd like to make a motion to table this until Thursday night, until we can see the amended budget all clearly
Second.
written out.
Any discussion on the motion to table? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. And just, Mr. McGraw, just to revisit, I mean, 2026 net projected revenue is $2.7 million. After these adjustments, we'll come in somewhere at $3.1 million, you know, so we're still operating, we're still eating up that carryover. We'll just have to get in line one of these days, but yeah. And you operate off of what, one mil on property taxes?
Yes, sir.
That's it, all right. I sent you an email about this. What funds do you receive from Van Buren County? Zero. All right. And the funds that you receive in Faulkner County do not go towards the services that we provide in Van Buren County, I
That's
assume.
correct.
Okay.
If you lose a book from Clinton, you gotta pay Clinton. I can't take your money.
Do you,
It's really separate.
do you receive any money at all from the city of Conway?
Yeah.
Okay. Justice, anything else for Mr. McGraw?
Thank you for your patience. This is too important to
Very much for your passion.
rush through, so thank you.
Thank you. All right. We have a motion for our next budget.
I'd like to make a motion to put Fund 1000.0604 Museum on the table for discussion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Justices, this is, if you'll remember, this is, museum has its own fund where it receives a voluntary tax. And they got themselves into a pickle last year and came and asked for county general money. Administrator Higgins, am I telling this story correctly? From your recollection?
Using the word pickle, but it's accurate.
So this is the, what I'm gonna do is bring up the next one because I think we have to talk about, I think we've got to kind of talk about both of them at the same time. I don't think we can talk about them in a vacuum. So I'm moving over to 3401 is our next budget. We're gonna look at the museum, which is $21,000 over in the budget request. So we're $21,000 over on our request in Fund 3401, and we have this new budget that we passed last year in County General here for 13.5. I think we have a motion on this one right here, don't we?
On the first one, yeah.
0604. Yeah, we're just talking about yeah.
Okay.
I just wanted to pull out the second one.
1000.0604.
Councilman Grimes, thank you. Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Hey, I want to say, first of all, I know y'all have done a lot of work over there this past year. A lot of work.
Oh.
I think that's an understatement.
Well, thank you.
Absolutely. Do you have anything good to tell us?
I think so. The budget we submitted, currently, as you're aware, we do not have an executive director. Ms. Lenita Langley Ware resigned in March, so that's not been filled with the thought that we're going to do a complete renovation, hopefully with our grant. That would last up to 6 months, and so we figured we would not hire a new director, not knowing if we would need a new director in the short term. We'll wait till the museum is renovated, figure out our new model, and figure out what kind of director we need. So we submitted a budget. As you noted, the budget is upside down, but the reason is this. We submitted, personnel-wise, half of a year's worth of salary starting July 1st. Now, I'm assuming, I don't know how your budgets work, but I'm assuming for budgetary purposes, to keep the position in there, you filled it in at a full year salary, which is why you get the $67,000. We submitted half of that, and so, again, knowing it won't be funded, we won't have a director in January, February, March, or April, May, or June, maybe even longer, depending. So really, I don't know how you handle it, but you may have to approve it fully, approve it half. At any rate, we're not going to spend that money, is the bottom line. So that's the short version of it.
So out of the $44,700, is that the full salary or is that the partial?
Full-time salary, that's what the
Okay.
previous director was making, and then all the associated benefits along with that totals to the $67,000.
So we can just say roughly $22,000 of that is not going to be spent. I
Yes.
guess. Yeah.
Plus the associated
Plus
half-year
the
cost.
down the line.
Mr.
Yeah.
Chair,
Yes.
if this would help, and instead of changing all that stuff up, they currently, as of October 31st, they have $45,048.47. The problem with not having a carryover there is because they have $42,000 worth of budget remaining. But there's not been any July. If you can tell me right now you're not going to spend any of that budget, we can have $45,000
Only your monthly
carryover.
fee, the only thing we're spending, your monthly fee.
Thanks, sir.
That's all right.
Tyler, if you want to, if they're not going to spend any more of that budget that's out there available, we'll carry over the 50 with 51 revenue projected. That takes us to what?
91
something. Yeah,
You said
90 something.
45.
45 and 51 takes you
96.
and some change, and 10% holdback is 9,000 of that, so you're looking at about 8,500,
Okay.
85,000 that they would have. So that way you don't have to go back and change all of those line items to come back and change it again. It's up to you how you want to handle it, but
that sounds good.
But if they're not spending any more money, then they've got plenty of money there to carry over.
Okay, yep.
So 42,000-ish carryover?
You said 45?
45.
The statement of operations, let's see, says 42.5 is what the statement of operations says their balance is. Based on their appropriation, they could have more sitting there.
Yeah, no, this is the appropriation that was passed last budget.
Yeah.
That's how much is left of their budget
Okay.
remaining. That, as you know, and we've talked about this in the past, all my carryover numbers, I have to, if you don't tell me different, I have to put everything that's left in your appropriation in because you have the ability to spend it without me knowing.
Yep.
And so it could be that number. I believe I had spoke with Mr. McGraw, and we kind of got some of his appropriation knocked down after conversations with him. Anybody else that tells me, hey, I'm not going to spend 100 of that or 1,000 of that or whatever, we break that down so that we get that carryover number as close as possible. Because as I've told you before, this is just an educated guess.
Thank you, Scott. So with this I know we're not talking about their Fund 3104 right now. That'll come back around, but in the next one. But Justices, any discussion on the Fund 1000 Department 0604 budget?
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
note, if you see the 3,000s are zeroed out, the judge's office has been carrying those out of our budget.
The fire and extended coverage?
Yep, utilities, we've been carrying those.
Oh, on Fund 3401?
Uh,
Fund 3401 budget?
Yes, I know we
Okay.
were looking at both of them.
What about the Fund 1000 budget? Why would those still have numbers plugged in there?
Let me look, they are paying the phone bill out of that one. That's, I don't know, $30 a month.
Four's the only other one.
3069 speaking.
Yep, all of the maintenance, I'm just saying, we've been covering it out of there, that those expenses are still there, we're just covering them.
I'm just doing quick math here, and I'm just gonna, it looks like we can combine these back and get them in the same fund again. Looks like we can extract them out of county general and throw them back into their existing fund once we do the math with the projected carryover. Not saying that they're gonna be able to live there in that situation very long just because of projected future revenue based on the voluntary tax, but that's kind of what my quick math is saying there. Justice, do y'all mind tabling this and so we can revisit these and see about cleaning up and combining these?
I make a motion to table Fund 1000.0604, as well as Fund 3401.0604, until Thursday.
So,
All right, Justice, any discussion on the motion to table these two budgets?
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Councilman Grimes. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
413.0801 soil conservation on the table for discussion.
Second.
All right, Justices, any discussion on soil conservation? Is there anyone from soil conservation here? Oh, there we go. Okay. Come up and talk to us for a minute if you don't mind. This is another voluntary tax. We don't get to hear from you about once a year. Remind us who you are.
Think a minute. Steve Martin, I'm on the board for the Faulkner County Conservation District. We're kind of weird. We're half county, we're part state, we're part federal. We are housed in the Natural Resource Conservation Services. As you know, they're out now. Been out, 40 days or whatever. Hopefully they'll be back soon. But our budget, we did reduce it because last year we bought a piece of equipment, $33,000, and this year we do not. So we have gone down. I would like to know, I don't know how much volunteer tax has come in. Do you have those numbers?
For this year or for last year?
Yes. At one time, and this is new to me, I don't know how this works, but we had like 122,000 carryover.
Yeah, so,
Mike.
soil conservation carryover for the.
Hit your butt.
Mr. Chair. Soil conservation carryover for, as of October 30th, the funds in there is 115,000, and we're projecting a carryover of 65,000. Now, the reason that's so low is because you have a lot of remaining budget that can be spent out there right now.
Right.
And so, go ahead.
On our statement of operations, we're behind. We turn in quarterly for the salaries that
Okay.
and so we may be a little bit behind.
Your revenue is going to be roughly about 55.
Okay.
It's 56.5 for next year. 55 of that is voluntary tax. Those voluntary taxes have really fallen off. If everyone remembers, kind of when Kimberly Clark pulled out of the voluntary tax, we have really, on all of our voluntary, we've really seen a sharp fall off in that. So
That's pretty close to what we've been doing.
probably over the last 2 or 3 years, but
Yeah.
before that, you were probably up around 80.
Yeah, we were.
You know, or 90. So, yeah, so a lot of to do with your carryover has a lot to do with the amount of appropriation that you still have remaining. That if you can say, hey, I'm going to go spend this much, we can adjust that carryover.
Okay.
Justice, any questions?
No, sir.
All in favor of passing 3413.0801, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, sir. All right, Justice, I'm entertaining possibly a 5-minute recess. We've been riding this pony for a while.
Second.
Yep, we'll recess for 5 minutes.